Hello, I'm John Kidder. Welcome to the Ashcroft 2018 Civic Election Candidates Q&A. I'm going to be interviewing all the candidates for mayor and council. Each candidate will get a total of 5 questions. All the questions are the same for the candidates, and they've all seen the questions beforehand just to make sure that we're even-handed. So thank you for listening in and look forward to the interviews. Hello, I'm here with Carolee Lizee, a candidate for councilor in the 2018 Ashcroft Civic Elections. And Carolee has resided in Ashcroft since July 2007. She's recently retired as manager of the Ashcroft Apartment Motel and now does volunteer work and odd jobs around town. She's working for St. Gerard's Church, doing volunteer bookkeeping for Sage Hills Evangelical Free Church. Carolee and her husband Leon have 3 children, 8 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren.
That's right.
Wow. She writes poetry as a hobby. Her interests vary from doing computer research and social media such as Facebook. And she enjoys community functions, officer services wherever possible. So, Carolee, I'm going to ask the same 5 questions that we're asking of all the candidates here, and you had a chance to look at them beforehand, so let's just get started. So the first one is, can you try to imagine how you see the village of Ashcroft looking in 10 or 20 years? I know it's a long way out. Just kind of paint that picture. Tell us what that looks like to you.
Well, I see Ashcroft in about 10 or 20 years as being a lot larger than it is right now, as the populace is going to grow with the influx of the Ashcroft terminal. So I believe that Ashcroft itself is going to grow with all the aspects and have younger people in it than we do now.
Okay. And so then, given that for 10 or 20 year vision, what do you think might be achievable? What would you like to see it as at the end of the next 4-year term of council?
Well, first of all, I would like to see all the people very happy with the council and the board and what they're doing. And we are striving to do whatever it is that the people are asking for. And as the village grows, there'll be more people asking more questions and asking for more things. So we will have to listen to all of them.
Okay. You know, think then about what do you think is the role of a councillor and a village council in trying to help to realize that long-term vision and those relatively shorter-term plans?
Well, I really believe that the councillor is responsible for the people's quests. I believe that they should listen openly to what everyone has to say, and if there's needs that can be dealt with, deal with them accordingly.
Okay, and how do you see the role of the council working with the administrators, working with other parts of the region, et cetera? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, I think that they need to get along real well with the administrator and the rest of the board. However, they may be at loggerheads at times, but then I think that we're all adult enough to work things like that out.
Okay. So we talked about a kind of a 10 to 20 year picture and a shorter term picture and what you see as the role of the councillor. So let me ask you now specifically what practicable and doable approaches you would suggest to work in that direction. And so I want to ask specifically if you've taken a look at or had part of the Ashcroft official community plan just adopted last year. Have you looked at the 5-year financial plan? And given those 2 overarching sets of documents, are there other things that you think haven't been addressed in that? And what kind of personal initiatives have you got that you might want to bring to those questions?
Well, I haven't really had a whole lot of chance to research everything that has to do with the 5-year plan and the financial plan, so that's something that I'll have to research and you know, just to understand for myself. I believe that there again, we must listen to what the people want. If the village is able to do those things and those requests and they're viable ones, then that's what we should apply ourselves to.
And do you have any particular specific personal initiatives that you want to bring to the upcoming council?
Well, I would like to see Ashcroft rather remain as itself. I know it's going to grow, but I think it should remain as a quiet and peaceful place to live apart from the big city. But I know that it's going to grow, and I believe that as a bigger place it still can have those qualities.
And again, speaking personally, what do you think you would bring to council to help make those things move along, to keep that spirit of Ashcroft as you talked about?
Well, the things that I would bring would I would bring up the things for recycling and things for a dog park and things like that, that people are really looking towards having. Better signs for the Ashcroft terminal so the trucks don't get lost and have to back up on a one-way street and things like that. That's what I would bring to them.
Right. Okay, well, we got about 5 minutes left in this interview, which is rather a lot of time. So I'm going to ask you now to just kind of let yourself kind of go and think about why it is a voter in Ashcroft is going to pick Carolee Lizee to be a councillor for the next 4 years. And you have lots of time, so you just let you expand on that as much as you want. Why you? Why would I vote for you as a councillor?
Well, first of all, I think the reason people might vote for me would be because it's a fresh new idea that's coming into office. It's never been in office before, and I have lived in the village long enough to know what the people's wants and needs are. And as a manager of an apartment building, I really had a good opportunity to find out what people really need and what they want to do in the village of Ashcroft. For myself, I think that people will look at me as somebody that is open and wants to hear what they have to say. And that is my biggest goal in this all, is to be able to talk to people and have people say what they want and feel free and comfortable in speaking of the things they want, and know that if it is possible, those things will be accounted for and will be worked on accordingly where there is the finances and the ability to do so. So I believe that this would be the reasons why someone would want to vote for me.
Okay, well, thanks, Carolee. We still have a little bit of extra time, but I think that's been a pretty good summary of what you wanted to do, and I'm sure that the voters will appreciate having a chance to listen to you. So thanks so much for coming in, and best of luck in the election, and we'll see you as the process goes on.
Thank you.
Yeah.